Hi everyone, welcome back to your Not So Ordinary Scrapbook channel. Welcome to Vlogtober. I did promise that I would film the month of October, and so I am going to do a short video today because I promised that I would on October 1st. I am still not in the office, my new space, my new craft room. Because we're still finishing up the bathroom. So that should be done this weekend, and hopefully by next weekend I will be back in a room and everything will be set up so I can give you a new tour of that room. It's a little bit larger, actually quite a bit larger than my other office, so I'm actually kind of excited to move in there. So, so today, for today's video, since I promised that I would do it, I decided that what I plan to scrapbook through the month of October is fall related pictures. It just makes sense to do that. And this is one of my iris containers that I've had for probably over 5 years now. And I have several of these. I think you've probably seen them in my office tour videos. I thought that I would just go through the supplies that I plan to use for these layouts that I'm going to do each night. So I'm going to try to do one layout a night and try to get started in that way. And then I have something else kind of planned. I'm going to continue with the fall theme throughout the month of October for Vlogtober. But once I get into my office space, then I have something a little bit more fun that I plan to do that will help me use all of my supplies instead of just a limited amount. I find that I gravitate toward stickers because they're faster than stamps or embossing or my sewing machine or things like that, just because that is the fastest way to get a layout done. But I want to use those supplies, so I'm hoping that I can use them in the future. So with this idea that I have anyway. So some of the supplies that I have in here are very, very old. I've had them for years, even decades. I don't know where everything came from, but I'm just going to show you what I've got, and that will be the video tonight. So these are just some stickers that I stuck onto a gingham card. I don't know if I'll cut those out or not. This was part of a folder of some sort that I had. Here's a sticker. Oh. Says, "Let each become all that he was capable of being." And I glued this pumpkin onto this paper. And this is just a piece of scrap paper. These are some recipe cards. I don't know that I'll use those in my scrapbook though. I might just stick that in with my recipe cards. Kitchen. And another piece of scrap paper. There's that piece. So I apologize that I have not been on here in over a month, but work has been incredibly busy. I love my job. I love what I do. I love working with these kids. It is definitely what it was definitely what I am meant to be doing. There's an apple. It's not always easy. It's not an easy job. Some of these kiddos just have a lot of medical problems. So some of them are pretty medically complex. So it's those can be tougher days where you don't see as much progress as quickly as with some other children. But every little bit of progress that those kids make is just such a huge, huge thing. But we just have an overabundance of kids and not enough people to provide therapy services for them. So me and this other woman, we split Logan County, and then she does Menard County and I do Mason County. And I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I love the kids that I have are just, you know, you just, well, like any teacher would feel, you know, you grow to love these kids and you want to see them succeed. And you grow to love their parents too. I mean, I feel like I get so excited when parents will send me a video or pictures of their child doing something that we've been working really hard on to get them to do, and then all of a sudden they do it, and the parent will send me a picture, and they're so excited to show me, and I'm so excited to see it because it's such a huge thing for some of these kiddos to do. But it's also, it can be exhausting at the end of the day too, because a lot of my paperwork has to be done after I'm done seeing kids, and even though I get paid for that, sometimes I'm doing paperwork for a couple hours a night, and then there's also like lesson planning because they're young. I try to do themes each week just to kind of have some sort of organization or system in place. And it's fun because I get to create my own lesson plans. I don't have to like show. I go by their IFSP, what things they need to work on. But it makes it a little bit more fun if I can tie the whole lesson into a theme, and then bring specific toys that foster the skills that they need, that are that coincide with the theme that we're using. I think this used to have a button on it or something. I think it's a pillow, and there's a little bit of adhesive here, but That's okay. So, this week we're doing caps for sale, and so I've been reading the book Caps for Sale all week to all my kiddos, and they just think it's so funny that the monkeys steal the hats, and then the monkeys, you know, all kids love making the monkey sound if they can. So, and then they're coloring these monkeys, and then they're gluing hats on top of the monkeys. So that's basically what they're doing. And then they're coloring the monkey brown. So we're talking about hats, how hats go on your head, and the color brown, and all of our activities have to do with hats. So we're doing that and talking about our head, and they're taking objects out of Ned's head, which is a big, if you've ever heard of him, he's like a toy that you can put things inside of his head and then pull it out. So the kids are getting a kick out of that. And the kids that are more verbal, they'll pull something out, I'll be like, "What is that?" And then they'll tell me what it is. So But for the month of October, next week we're going to do spiders, and then second week of October we're going to do bats. Third week of October we're going to do pumpkins, and then the final week of October we're going to do Halloween, and then in November, we're going to do leaves, fall leaves, and of course Thanksgiving and migration. We're going to do that, and then we're also going to do a week of squirrels. So, and those are going to be our themes. And then probably the entire month of December, I think we're going to do Christmas themes. So they're just going to surround Christmas. All the kids that I see celebrate Christmas, so I don't have to really worry about, the whole holiday theme thing, like a lot of public schools do. If I did have a family that was extremely secular or Jewish or something like that, or Muslim or some other religion, of course I would not do that with that family. But it's fun. The kids get excited about the holidays. It's always fun to plan little things around the holidays. So I always get them something, like they got a little basket with bubbles and sunglasses, and a sidewalk chalk egg, and a pail and shovel for Easter. So all the kids got one of those. And then for Halloween, I'm gonna buy a bunch of non-food, like treats, and then I'm going to put them in a sensory bin, and then the kids are going to, whatever things that they find, they can keep. So that's something we're going to do for Halloween. And then at Christmas time, I always get, well, I haven't yet, but it's just kind of something that we all do, is we buy each of the kids a little gift for Christmas. And then for their birthdays, I always get each of the kids a little present for their birthday. Usually it's a board book, nothing really expensive. Usually it's around $5. So, and if a child is sick and in the hospital, I generally will get them a gift as well. I usually go to Walmart and I pick up a toy that is, like a developmental toy that's appropriate for their age. And then I usually mail it to them. Especially if, like, I haven't seen them in a couple weeks. I have one child that is really medically complex and in and out of the hospital a lot. And so I like to send this child like little I'm thinking of you things. Yes. But I get tired at the end of the night. I love what I do. I have a lot of really early mornings. Most of my clients are early in the morning. And sometimes I have to drive 45 minutes to get there. But they pay my mileage as well, so. But that's pretty much it. I keep getting more new kiddos all the time. I have a new one starting on Friday that is in Havana, which is pretty far away. But I see another kid that's not far from there on Fridays, so I kind of scheduled this child around the same time that I get done with the other child. And then I can, I don't have to drive so far back and forth. I can just stay there and go to the other child. See the other child after the first child. Plus, I've been getting up really early to walk with Katie. Katie's the one that I used to walk with, and then we kind of had a falling out over Esme, and it took me a really long time to forgive her. But we just decided that friendship is more important than getting in arguments and being mad at someone. Besides, what happened is over and done with. I mean, Esme's in our life, and it doesn't matter. Like, the fact that it's just it's all water under the bridge, and I believe her that, it was mostly Randy. I get it, She can be difficult at times. So, but we love Esme, so we're in it for the long haul with her mom. And we don't ever want Esme to feel like her mom is a bad person or anything like that. Because that is the worst thing that you can do, is to make a child not like their mom. Yeah, I hear you. You do this to me every time. When our cat wants outside, she will bug me incessantly until I let her outside. She'll get in my face. She'll walk across my lap. Like right now, she's pacing back and forth, rubbing up against me. And she's meowing because she knows that I generally will let her outside if she is going to be a pain. She knows how to be a pain to get attention. Yes, don't you? So, Ethan's gonna take her soon. They already have a cat. He moved in with his girlfriend, and she has a cat. So they have one cat, and they have to pay for each pet, and it's like $250. But it's like for the whole year, so it's not like monthly or anything. And so he is saving up enough to bring this cat home to his apartment. So then we won't have our cat, which is fine. I wish he'd take his dog. That's what I really wish. But I'll keep the cat. He can take the dog. But they're not too bad. We just, when they get to be too annoying, we just kennel them for a while and tell them it's bedtime. But they're so old that they, basically just lay around anyway. So. But Katie and I have been walking every morning. This morning we went walking. We go at 6:30 because we both have to leave the trail by 7:20 to be able to get to, she has to be to work, and then I have clients usually. I have a couple that are like, I have to wear my scrubs to walk in because I have to leave straight from there to their house, which I'm glad I don't sweat too much because that would not be good. But I really don't. I don't sweat a lot, so I wear my scrubs on Fridays and on Tuesdays, and then on my Wednesday client, my first one is at 9:15, and so when I go at 6:30, I have time to come home, take a shower, and change. So I usually just get up, throw on sweatpants or whatever, and go walking, and then come home and then take a shower and put on my scrubs right before work. But one of the best aspects of this job is that I get to come home like in between. So like like today I had a 9:15 client, and then I had an 11 o'clock client, and each session is an hour. So my 9:15 goes to 10:15. Then I have to drive out to Mason City right after. So I leave the daycare, drive out to Mason City to see my 11 o'clock. And then that's from 11 to 12. And then at 12 o'clock, then I drive back to Lincoln because I have a client here that I see at 1 o'clock. But I see him with speech. And speech is live video. So I have to run home. I usually have time to run home, go to the bathroom, and then grab my laptop, and then out the door to see that client. And then I come home. And then I'm done I'm not necessarily done because I have paperwork to do. I have to write progress notes, and then whatever else I have to do. Sometimes I have to write a 6-month review. Sometimes I have to write a discharge summary if a child is aging out, or I have to write There's a lot of different reports we have to write. So, or if we're making a referral for them to see a developmental pediatrician for diagnostic testing or whatever, you have to write that out and send that in to the service coordinator and all that stuff. So, but I'm so proud of myself because I walked this morning and we were able to walk like 2 miles before we had to leave. And then I came home, did my paperwork, and then I decided that I wanted to walk some more, so I have a walking pad in here in the dining room, and so which I haven't hardly used at all since I bought it. I bought it 2 years ago. 1 or 2 years ago, I can't remember. I think maybe it was last year I bought it. I can't remember. But I just really have not used it at all. I've either been too busy or I just haven't. So I decided that I was going to do that. And so I walked for 33 minutes. And so that added on to my 2 miles that I walked today. So I think I ended with 3.6 miles for today, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't expect to win any competitions or anything because there's no way that I can walk as many miles as some people do, but I'm just happy that I'm able to even do this. So I prefer to walk outside, but I do enjoy my walking pad. It's not that bad. There's no incline on it, but it can go up to I think it goes up to 5. The speed goes up to 5. I don't put it up that high, but I had it up to 3.4. Today, and I did break a sweat tonight. I was really sweating tonight. So, but I did that, and then I got my stuff ready for tomorrow because I have a 9 o'clock tomorrow in Middletown, and then and I have to go walking again with Katie at 6:30. That's from Planner Society. It's a cute little bag. But then I don't have another client until 5 o'clock tomorrow. So my other Thursday I only see every other week, so I don't have him tomorrow. He's an 8 a.m. in Easton that I see every other week. So he's a really early morning one because I have to leave I have to leave straight from the trail to see him. But I get to go home. I'll see the kid in Middletown, and then I'll come home, and then I'll do paperwork, and I have to type in a whole bunch of stuff into Google Drive for this one kid tomorrow. So I'll probably do that more after I get back from seeing this kid. And then I don't have to drive to Mason City until 4:30. So, because that kid's at 5 o'clock. So that's one aspect of the job that I really enjoy, is that I get to go home in between some clients. Some clients, like today, Wednesdays are pretty hairy because they're all like, I have 3 back-to-back. Fridays are kind of like that too because I have 2 back-to-back. And then I have 1 in the afternoon. And then Tuesdays I have a little break in between. Tuesdays are early morning. I have an 8 a.m., then I have an 11, and then I have a 2 p.m. So. And then Mondays I have 2 back-to-back, which sometimes it's a race against time because I have to drive to Easton early in the morning to see that kid. And then, like, I have 30 minutes to get from his house to this child in San Joe's house, or San Joe's, that town. And it is just about, like, it's cutting it close. It's like 28 miles away. So occasionally I have to text the mom and say that I'm running behind schedule, which they're all pretty understanding, you know, because you factor in drive time as best as you can, but you just never know, like, what you're going to encounter. And with all the country roads that I have to drive down, I get behind combines quite often, especially this time of year. And they're slow moving and they take up the whole road. And so, like, sometimes I have to wait. Last Thursday, I went to lunch with my friend Michelle after I was done seeing clients. Or, no, it wasn't last Wednesday. It was this last Monday, actually. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. I went to lunch with my friend Michelle in Bloomington after I was done seeing clients, and I got to, like, I take 136 from San Joe's, and I was going to head to Bloomington, but then those big giant fans that they have out in the fields, or windmills or whatever they are, there's a lot of scraps in this, which is a good thing because I can use up a lot of these scraps. I hope there's some bigger sheets in here too, though, but I don't know. This is an envelope. What's in here? Oh, that's pretty. So, but it came up off this woman, like, in this wide load car or something like that. She was stopped and standing in the middle of the road with a stop sign. So I stopped, and I didn't know why she was stopping me because, like, there was no truck there at all. But it was like, right by Emden, on 136. So, like, right where the highway is. And there was this big truck that was hauling one blade of the windmill, and I kid you not, I sat there for 20 minutes waiting for this truck because each blade is so huge, like, they can't turn. I don't know how they get to where they're going, because it would be nearly impossible for a truck to turn with that great big thing on it. But I sat there and waited while the truck just tried to get up off the exit and get on 136. And I thought, oh my goodness. I have never had to wait like that long for like another truck. But I've been stuck in traffic jams for longer. I'm not going to say that like it was like the worst thing in the world, but I was in a hurry to go to lunch with my friend. But I made it. And we had a good lunch. We went to this new restaurant up in Bloomington called Chicken Salad Chick. She took me to. And I'd never eaten there before. It was just kind of this lunch place. And they had every kind of chicken salad that you could ever imagine. And it was really good. It was expensive, though. Just for a sandwich. I had a chicken salad sandwich. And it came with a side of, like, broccoli slaw. Which was just a small cup of broccoli slaw. And I had a lemonade. And it came to $17. And I thought, oh my goodness, that is so expensive. Like for a sandwich and a side and a drink. Crazy. But I guess all restaurants are expensive. I was talking to a mom yesterday about it because she went to Subway to get her and her husband a sub for lunch because they knew I was coming to see their child. Oh, these pumpkins. Oh, I can use these. I should laminate these. Oh, I can use these for my kiddos. Yeah, I'm not going to scrapbook with these. These are awesome. Look at that. They're all the same. Cool. I'll just laminate them for our pumpkin theme. And then I don't have to cut out a bunch of pumpkins. We can play pumpkin game with these. Good. That's always a bonus when you can find stuff that is pre-cut from... I probably cut these out when I was homeschooling the kids at some point in time. Didn't use it, or I had made too many or something, but might as well use it up. These leaves too. Oh, this was from Thanksgiving one year. Long time ago. The kids wrote what they were thankful for. I'm thankful, family, home. I'm pretty sure that's Ethan. What does this one say? I am thankful for my family and friends. That must be Hunter. What does this one say? I am thankful for Thanksgiving. That was probably Scott's. This one's mine. I'm thankful that Scott is on first shift at work now. Someone wrote, I am thankful for my life. That could have been Hunter too. I don't think that was Matt, but I don't know. Matt could have wrote any one of those. I don't know. We used to do stuff like that when the kids were little. We'd make like a Thanksgiving tree and have them write what they were thankful for and put it on there and all that stuff. We don't do that anymore. Although last year I found a color page, like a placemat, a thankful placemat at the dollar spot at Target, and it had stickers and stuff. And so I let Esme color her placemat for Thanksgiving last year, and she did. She worked really hard on it too. I was really proud of her. She just kept at it. She wanted it to look really nice for Thanksgiving. And then she ate on it for Thanksgiving. It was so sweet. But she is my precious little helper. I just adore that little girl. My little princess. But so is Aria too. I don't favor the girls more than the boys. I mean, I love Corbin to pieces, and I love MJ. And I loved Kaysen with my whole heart. My heart is still breaking because he's gone. And it will forever be breaking. I don't think when you lose a grandchild or a child that you ever recover from that. Totally. I mean, I think time goes by and you don't think about it as much. But there just is nothing like losing a child or a grandchild. I've been really lucky that I've never lost a child other than I had a couple really early miscarriages in between the boys. And that was, I really didn't know I was pregnant at the time, so it really wasn't like, I mean, I thought about it, it ached, but it wasn't like I was very far along that I made plans, I guess, for, I didn't know, I mean, I knew when it happened, but I didn't know I was pregnant when it happened. I found out afterward, after the miscarriage, that I was pregnant. But which, I mean, it's a downer. It's like, it's really devastating, but nothing compares though to knowing a child, like losing a grandchild that you knew and you loved and you cared for, and just who had your heart, That's really hard. But he's forever in my heart. I just hope that he's the first one in heaven that meets me. That meets me in heaven. I want him to be the one to meet me. They always say that a loved one meets you or greets you. And I really want it to be Kaysen. Because he was just so precious. He was a handful, but he was precious. But I don't love the boys any less than the girls. I think that it's different. It's different because, I don't know, maybe it's because I raised all boys and I didn't have any girls, and now that I have granddaughters, it's just so magical, because I just never thought that I would have granddaughters. And they like to do girl things, even Aria is just a baby. She's just one. But when I was in Arizona, we went on a girls shopping trip, and Aria was part of that. which was so sweet. And then, and she just smiles and she loves, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. So Yessie will put her on her changing table and she'll give her a choice of like outfits, and Aria will grab the one that she wants, and then and then and then mommy will show her bows, because Yessie loves to put bows in Aria's hair, and now her hair is a little bit longer where she can put pigtails in them, like these teeny tiny pigtails, and then put bows on, like 2 bows on. And she just looks so darling. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. But Aria is already styling. She just gets all into it. She loves to dress up and look pretty. But so does Esme too. Esme loves it too. She's very particular about her clothes. She likes to pick them out. She loves dresses. She's all about dresses, making cookies, and all kinds of fun things. Not that boys don't like to do that either. My boys make cookies with me all the time and love to cook and bake and do all that kind of stuff. They just were, they did all that stuff with me too, but they also did boy stuff too, like Scott would take them shooting sometimes at the shooting range when they were older, when they were teenagers, or they'd play airsoft and paintball and things like that. Go fishing, that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of stuff in here. I didn't realize there was so much stuff in here. Oh. There's a little acorn stamp. But I'm tired, as you can tell, because I keep yawning. I may not even get through this, because it's already 47 minutes long, and you're just looking at, like, all my embellishments, which might be kind of boring, actually. And I apologize if it is. There's another pumpkin. But I haven't looked at this stuff in years. Like I said, this was put together probably 5 years ago. So these embellishments have been in here that long, unused. Oh, here's another one I wrote. I am thankful for a family that loves each other and forgives mistakes. That's sweet. Lots and lots of scrap paper, which is good. I'm not sad about that. This doesn't seem to be like a Halloween themed one. It's more fall. I do have a Halloween themed iris container, but I think I'm just gonna work with the fall, like for at least a good part of October. These are all chipboard, fall chipboard circles. And then I'll probably I'll probably put whatever's left of this away, and then get out that specific Halloween one, because these are all like harvest. But I did go through some pictures and find what I wanted to scrapbook. And like I have a lot of stuff from when the boys were in 4-H. We did a lot during the fall for like Harvest of Talents and shoe boxes and just a lot of stuff. We built we would always do a scarecrow competition in the fall. So there was just a lot of activities that we did. And also we belong to a homeschool group when the boys were young, and so we have pictures of that, like going on field trips. We'd take field trips with them in the fall, well, throughout the year, but I have fall pictures of that. So just kind of odds and ends. And then I do have some Halloween ones as well. That I can save for when I do closer to the end of the month. I'm not really too concerned about this. That's a larger sheet. I'm not really too concerned about that's blue. What gets used and what doesn't get used. Here's another one of those recipe cards. I'll probably put that up there for Thanksgiving. So, oh yeah, there's full sheets in here. Good. Well, that's good to know. Let's see what these are. There's turkeys. Say November. That's definitely Thanksgiving. Here's some of these. Bonus digital stamps from Move More, Eat Well. That was from Big Picture Classes a long, long time ago. Here's a ledger paper. That's nice. Music notes on the back. There's a red one. This is from Bella Boulevard. Hello, Autumn. That's pretty. I love that. And then I have Bezel cardstock. And like a grit, or I don't know what you call those, a four square thing. This is hearts on craft. It's double-sided, but this is more like an embossed heart. And there's chevron. One side. This is Creative Memories paper, I know that. Some plaid. I should be able to make some layouts with this. With these papers. I didn't even know that there were full 12 by 12 sheets in here. There's this. Kind of pretty. That's single-sided. This is single-sided. More gingham. And what else do we have? Oh, this gold. This is Club Scrap. I know that. That's really old. I think these are Club Scrap too, if you remember Club Scrap. Yeah. Their paper was so thick. I can always tell when like something was Club Scrap because their paper was so, their cardstock was so thick and unique. Like they had papers that were extremely unique that you couldn't get anywhere else. There's another basil cardstock. So here's some Thanksgiving pilgrims. Some plaid. These are like envelopes or something, cardstock envelopes that you can slide in. Yellow. Some leaves, squash. I was wonderful, thankful. Just a fall thing that I made. Border. Another one of those cards. More of this paper from Club Scrap. I don't even know what's all in here. I'm just gonna start flipping stuff over because it's just too much and it's getting to be too long. These all have like ribbon on them. Or they're scalloped. Already matted. Journal spots and stuff. Well, that was a piece of sheer paper. There's pumpkin stickers. All kinds of stuff. Fall stuff. But it'll be fun scrapbooking with this. I think Vlogtober will be fun. I've never done Vlogtober before. But I figured I'd do it this year. I don't ever scrapbook every day. My life is too busy, but I'm gonna attempt to do it every day in October. So at least one layout. And hopefully it won't be a super long video. This one's a lot longer than what I had planned it to be. These are like silk stickers. Those are quite old. Heidi Grace. That's Stampin' Up. They're close to my heart or something. So that's about it. I'm not gonna go any further with this video. You got the gist of it. You saw pretty much everything that's in here. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of paper. There's these stickers. These are from Bella Boulevard. So I have a good selection to use. This is Freckled Fawn. So I have some newer stuff in here, some older stuff, but it'll be fun to scrapbook. But I thank you all for watching. Just wanted to give you kind of an update of what's been happening the past month, why I haven't been on here. And tomorrow we will plan to scrapbook a page together. So I'll try to get my tripod out here too. I'm holding my camera right now because everything is disarray. I feel like I'm living in a construction zone right now because of the bathroom, but it is what it is. Hopefully this weekend will be the last weekend that I have to live like this. But everybody take care. Have a good October, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.